but you have at one point discovered something in your classroom, correct?
Yes.
A little special guest.
It was, listen, okay, so yes, when I was in 3rd grade for that year, I had a classroom that was, well, the school in general was like built in 1940. And when I moved into that classroom, it had literal textbooks from 1966 in the cupboards.
Oh my
Like, it was
gosh.
just things that teacher after teacher had moved out of that room and been like, well, this will be useful. So I had like very, very old, dusty things. And that school in general, just having never been updated, we had cockroaches, we had ants, we had everything under the sun. But what I didn't think we had was a mouse. I was teaching one day and I had some pranksters in my class that loved to, like, in the middle of math, they would just say things that they knew would get like a rise out of the class. Oh my gosh, a bee. And there was no bee, but then the whole class is like, a bee or a spider or whatever. So one day they did it with a mouse, and they had gaslit me one too many times about things, being like, no, miss, I swear. And I'm like, you are. And then there'd be a kid that was like, no, they're lying to you. They're lying. And I would be like, wait a second. So when they said the mouse ran by, I was like, no, it did not. We got to buckle in and do this graphing activity or whatever. And then I was filming a TikTok after school, and I had like my phone on my desk, and behind me you would just see a mouse like book it across the classroom. And I was like, oh, I told them. I didn't believe them about that. And I like had set up a trap. I was like, but simultaneously, do you know about the Rodent Girl 69 username from Neopets? Do you know this story?
No. What?
Okay, listen. Side note. Sorry, the ADHD is ADHDing, but I feel like you need to know this. So,
yes, please.
When I was because I also was undiagnosed neurodivergent as a child, and I had a very, very special interest of rodents. I loved rodents, all kinds. I would read every book in the library. I have pictures of, like, wouldn't draw my family as people, drew them as hamsters over and over again. Don't know why. Anyways.
Just a rodent girly.
Yes. So exactly. And when Neopets came out, that was my username, rodent girl _. But I liked how the numbers 6 and 9 fit together. I thought it was very, like, a little puzzle. So I put them together, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is like a yin-yang symbol. Like, this is, it was 2000 something, and that was like a thing that was on a lot of stuff, and I didn't know any better on any front. And so that was my username. And my mom was like not going to be like, let me explain to you what those numbers mean. She was like, you're 8. We're just going to let that go. So, so that is the being that found a mouse in the classroom.
So this was your moment.
This was my moment.
This is what your whole life has been prepared.
Exactly. I was like, we're going to domesticate this friend and because it's going to be a class pet. No, but the janitorial staff brought up glue traps, and I went nuts. I was like, no, I can't do this to me. So I have like a TikTok of me setting up like books and a thing and a whatever with snacks in the trash can that's like tipped over. It looks very like the game Mousetrap came to life. And it was, we never did catch the mouse. It was able to fully get in and out of that trash can, which everybody in the comments was like,
yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Well, at the end of the year, I was cleaning out my bins, and I had a snack bin that I forgot about. And it was in another bin. And when I took the bin out, it was there was no dead mouse in it. The mouse carried on its merry way, but it had very evidently turned that into its own mouse cage and was just living its best life right next to me while I taught. So it was like literally 2 feet away from me at all times. And every once in a while, we would see a blur of the mouse run on by. But yeah. So I did find a
And
friend.
how confident are you that the janitorial staff did not put glue traps down that you were unaware of, and that's in fact where the little mouse ended up?
Well, they were not in my room. I will say that.
Okay.
I looked around and I removed them, and against everyone's advice, because mind you, I'm pregnant at the time, and like mouse droppings are
Right.
not something that you mess with when you're pregnant. But I was like,
Right.
I'm going to wear a mask and a ventilator. I'm fine. I'm going to whatever. But I never did find it.
Okay.
I like to
So
think
when
that
you
he's
left
like
for
living his best life somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure when you left for maternity leave, they definitely didn't put a bunch of glue traps in there and deal with that mouse.
Everyone, I have to go. It's been really fun.
Thank you so much for watching. Want more of Those Who Can't Do in your life? Well, you can watch the full episode right now. Just click on that little box over there. You see it? Right down there? There it is. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe. Okay, bye.